Well, but then later on, they went back in the back because Heyman was waiting for Roman Reigns. And again, by the way, they're in the same building. That was the WrestleMania great moment that they're inducting Austin and Hart at WrestleMania in the Hall of Fame match, same building.
WrestleMania 2.
WrestleMania 2 they had there.
Yeah.
Vern Gagne ran that play. Anyway, so Heyman's waiting for Roman, and he cuts the promo. He's like, for the record, let me say this, please, Punk. Whatever Punk says, no matter what the favor is, my answer is yes. Anything. Just tell me. Tell me what it is. And then an SUV pulls up, and there's a big pop because it's Roman. But it's not Roman, it's Seth. And Seth gets out and tells Paul that I've got a plan. But when Roman gets here, you let me know because I want to be there. So now they've updated it to all three of these fuckers are going to be there. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what's going to go on. Right. So they're freshening it up and they've got people to add to this thing. So at least they're keeping it, interesting through this. Because again, 3 hours is a long, long time. But anyway, finally, Paul's in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gang. No, Paul's in the back and an SUV pulls up and it's Roman. And he gets out and Paul goes to him like, oh, my tribal chief. And he walks right past Paul. Doesn't even look at him. He's pissed off. And they do the follow shot where Paul's scurrying along behind him, humming. And they go right through the gorilla position and into the arena. And the people are going crazy. And he gives them the acknowledge me. And we get the OTC chants. And then Roman looks at Paul. He's like, Paul, is he here? And the people chant CM Punk again. And he asks Paul, is he still talking about the favor? Yes. Should I share a secret with Chicago? Yes. CM Punk wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. He wouldn't be in the main event at WrestleMania if it wasn't for me. Punk's never been in the main event until he was introduced to the tribal chief. And he goes through that whole thing. I made this company. I made this guy. And he calls Punk out. He said, come on out here. And they're waiting and no music. And Roman's looking at his watch like, what the fuck? And then suddenly the music hits and it's Seth. And whoa, and whoa. They're all woeing to the ring. Interminable woeing, I would say. Interminable is a word I would describe this. I thought we had left Europe. But anyway, Seth's story is I wouldn't miss this for the world because I don't know what the favor is, but I want to see. And he knocks Roman. And as he was talking at this point, the fans started getting a little restless because they were chanting, what's the favor? And Seth is trying to get across the point that, Roman could have stopped Punk, but he didn't. And he could have stopped Punk, but Roman didn't let him. And the people are chanting CM Punk. I got the feeling that they were ready to get to the meat of the matter here because Seth was going a little long. And finally, Roman told Seth that he was untrustworthy. And he couldn't be trust old Seth. And that's why you're fuck you. But he called Punk out, not Seth. And then the fans are starting to sing Roman Reigns. But Seth called Punk out. And as soon as he called Punk out, then we got like Mussolini the second time he. Just if you're keeping track of the number, Brian. And Punk comes to the ring with the microphone. And it said, what's the favor? And Punk said, this is about friendship, legacy, loyalty, promises made and promises kept. Paul, this goes back to 4400 Shepherdsville Road in Louisville as a familiar address, Brian. Now it's owned by the West Faversham football squad. But that was OVW. I have said, with all the spots that I recorded and all the fucking commentary I did, the times I plugged those shows, I've said 4400 Shepherdsville Road more times than I've ever said the address of anywhere I've lived. But anyway, that was where I showed up, and they told you I don't belong. I'm not supposed to be here, and you should fire me, and you said no. And Paul, you prophesized this, and he went into a story that I wasn't on the bus, so I can't tell whether it was true or not, but it sounded awful goddamn plausible. And that's the point with Punk. Him and Paul Heyman on Big Show's bus, when I think, he said, when you left the company, I think it was when Stephanie got mad and fired him. And Punk was like, oh, they're going to fire me now. And Paul said, you'll be fine. Force them to deal with us. Well, they aren't here anymore. So I'm going to force Roman to deal with us. And then Paul's facials. And he says, oh my God, in such a way you can read his lips perfectly. And also his jowls shake with fear at the same time. And he says, at WrestleMania, I want to be in my corner, Roman, your wise man, and my best friend, Paul Heyman. And Seth starts cackling. And Roman gets the stink face for a second, and then he starts laughing. And he's like, you understand, he loves me. The wise man needs me. I saved him. And this was the line. Even if I let him, he wouldn't do it. Wise man, let this desperate fool down easy. And the people are chanting CM Punk. And Paul does the lip quiver. His eyes are puddled and bleary, even more so than usual. And Roman is, are you crying? Wipe him up and tell him no. And he starts badgering him more. And there's and Roman says, one more chance, tell him no. And Paul says, no, I can't. And he gets a big pop. And Seth is laughing again. And Roman kind of snatches old Paul and backs him up into the corner. And Punk comes from behind and squashes Roman and gives Roman the GTS, and Roman's knocked out and has a face-off with Seth. And the fans are chanting CM Punk, and Paul's screaming, no, no. And Seth steps out and gets booed for not fighting, and Punk is smirking in the ring. I'm loving this shit. What is, everybody can talk. Every issue is rooted in reality. They have been telling these stories that are now everybody's animosity and, violence is coming to a head. I mean, I'm sold. What do you think?
I've enjoyed it. I mean, you seem to be madly in love with it, but I've enjoyed it. I think...
Well, it's refreshing, something I actually want to see instead of what I'm watching out of duty.
I said it last time, and, I felt it a little bit here, but not as much. But Roman kind of doesn't feel as natural as the other two do. And Rollins is a complete crazy, goofy character. So when he feels natural... But that was what I was also going to say. This has brought out the best in Rollins on the mic. Because you believe him. His whiny voice works when you believe he really hates the people he's ranting and crazed about. And him being kind of like Drew, just like all of a sudden he's just lashing out and he's crazy just to the idea of Punk existing over here. I think it's been really good. And we'll see how the match goes. Like you said, I think it is one of the main matches of WrestleMania. I think in terms of matches with general interest, it's this and Cody Cena.
Well, anyway, we will see what occurs here, but there's more when we talk about Raw here shortly in the saga of poor Happy Heyman and his former and current proteges.